Yes, guys, welcome back to the Irish Hotspur with your boy Dave. Of course, Tottenham travelled to Craven Cottage today to take on Fulham in the second round of the Carabao Cup, the only all-Premier League clash. I wonder, was there a hunt ball system used in play on that draw? However, we are looking for a good cup run under Ange Postecoglou, and we're looking to change Tottenham's luck in them cups. Of course, Postecoglou has alluded to changes being made today, not out of just wanting to give players minutes, but he said to keep up the intensity and to give ourselves the best chance of winning. So we're going to go and try and have a prediction of what Postecoglou might do tomorrow. So, of course, as always, we start with the goalkeeper. Now, look, there's a big argument that you could say Big Vic should start, but we haven't. We've gone with Fraser Forrester on this one. And the reason why he is, sort of the rule of thumb is, the backup keeper usually gets all the cup games. And look, Fraser Forster didn't really put a foot wrong for us last year. I get it's a big change. Some people might want to carry you in for his distribution with his feet. However, I think Fraser Forster might get the nod tomorrow. So let's move on, and we will go on to left back. Now, of course, Destiny Udogie looked like he picked up a knock against Bournemouth, so I don't think we'll be seeing him tonight. So for me, I've gone with Ben Davies at left back. Of course, there was an argument you could have started Reguilon, but with his future up in there and Man United being rumoured, and Tottenham with the need to offload players before deadline day, I'm not so sure they'll risk someone like Reguilon in terms of injury. But also, Ben Davies has come off the bench against Man United and Bournemouth. He seems to be the trusty lieutenant of Ange and deputy to the Udogie, and he's helped see out the games in the last two games. So, credit where credit's due, and I think he comes in at left back. Now, moving on to right back, we have gone with Emmer Goat. Look, Pedro Porro, over the last two games, he's put in a huge shift down that right-hand side. It's going to be our most targeted side all season long, purely because of the inverted system that we play on that side. And teams are so far over the last three games have exploited it. I expect that to continue all season long, and it requires a lot of energy. It's energy sapping that role. So we are going to take out Pedro Porro, and we're going to bring Emerson back in for this. Look, Emerson, I thought was hard done by actually to be dropped after the Brentford game. But, for me, he didn't really have the cover down that side, or that midfield on that side with Ollie Skip didn't really work. But Emerson, for me, is just as good as Porro, just as effective on that side. So for me, no hesitations throwing Emerson Royale in whatsoever. Now let's move into the centre-backs, and we will start with the right side centre-back. Look, we can actually just bring both of them up. Why not? Just bring both of them up, because in reality, I haven't made any changes at centre-back whatsoever. I've gone with Christian Romero and Mickey van de Ven. Now, I know a lot of people say, look, bring in Sanchez, this, that, and the other. The reality is, Sanchez's future is up in the air. Dyer doesn't seem to be a part of it, and I don't think Ange will be silly enough to rely on any of them guys personally. I think he'll be well aware that these guys have been at the heart of our backlines in all the away cup exits we've suffered down the last 4 or 5 years. Go and look at the record and the amount of away games we lose in cups. It's absolutely horrific. And there's no point in rolling them out there tomorrow thinking they're going to be different players. They're not. You got to keep that back two with Romero and Van de Ven. You've got to let it blossom, that partnership. And for me, if you want to keep your backline sturdy and you want to look for another clean sheet, you cannot afford to make a change at centre back. Now let's move into the defensive midfield. Bissouma, I hear a lot of people, I would like him to start. However, I've actually gone with Zinedine Salzburg. For me, the last two games he's come on against Man United and Bournemouth, I think he's looked excellent in that role. A lot of people question about his passing. He's come on and he's been very assured with his passing. The only difference is he doesn't offer them driving runs, taking people out the game that Bissouma offers us. So we are going to have to open up Fulham a different sort of way from that deep sort of role. However, Højbjerg has been trusted off the bench, just like Ben Davies, to be able to come on and see out games, and he's done that job. And for me, I think he adds value to Postecoglou in that sort of regard. So there should be no more talks about does he fit the system. He does. It's more so, does Højbjerg want to be a backup, or does he want to accept the challenge to try and force his way into that midfield? But however, I trust him to start tomorrow night. So big up Zinedine Salzburg. Moving on to the left-hand side of the two number 8s. We have gone with Giovanni Lo Celso. Of course, Maddison has been excellent the last couple of games, even getting a goal against Bournemouth. However, he did have that. There was that sort of talk and that debate last week about was there or not. Burnley next on the weekend, they're going to press us high. They're a very, very fit team, very young and enthusiastic team. For me, you save Maddison's legs for the game at the weekend, and you bring in Giovanni Lo Celso. Postecoglou spoke about Lo Celso starting anyway. We're just not sure what number 8 role it's going to be in, but I think he comes in for Maddison. Now, moving on to the other side, as much as I love Sarr, I absolutely love him. For me, I think Ollie Skip comes in on this one. The reason why we brought Ollie Skip in is I just think with Sarr, that sort of performance level dipped ever so slightly from that Man United game. And I think, just to sort of keep him in check, let him know that, he hasn't cemented that place down. You take him out, you bring in Ollie Skip. But Ollie Skip is going to have to offer us on the ball what Papamata Sarr offers, what Basuma offers, what Maddison offers. He's going to have to offer us something on the ball. He can't just come in on this side just as a defensive midfielder. You see with Sarr, he does the defensive duties and the duties going forward. Ollie Skip has to do it. This is a big, big game from many questions around. Does Højbjerg fit the system? I think we might have to ask questions. Does Ollie Skip fit the system? But look, moving on, we are going to go on to the left wing, and we have gone with the hot sauce. Perry Perisic looking to deliver, of course, being another one of the three, along with Højbjerg and Davies, to come off the bench over the last couple of games and help see out the game, but also being instrumental and helping us push for that second goal to take the game beyond the opponent. So for me, he deserves a start. We're getting him back to the role that he's good at. We all knew with left wing back, he didn't want to do the defensive duties. But at left wing with no defensive duties, we really are seeing the player, or the true player that Perisic really is. So for me, no doubt about him coming in on the left. Moving on to the right side, we have also gone with a change. We've took out Kulusevski. 1 goal, 1 assist from the opening 3 games, despite many talks around his sort of start to the season. But we've gone with Manor Solomon. Very, very impressive in pre-season. He's showing that he can play on the left or the right with the same sort of effect, the same sort of output. And for me, I think he's been hard done by. I think the reason why we haven't seen him yet is because, like I said, Postecoglou, with the games being 1-0 and still in the balance, he's preferred to go with the experienced players. But this is Solomon's chance to shine. He was on loan at Fulham last year. Let's go and show the world why Tottenham got you, my man. So big yourself up. Let's get a big performance from Manor Solomon. And up front, this is the biggest call of the day. Now, I know Postecoglou has sort of had he's sort of come out and said about Richarlison, look, I'm not just going to play him just to sort of play him and play into confidence. If he plays, it's because he adds something to the team. So I think we all have to bear that in mind if he does start. However, we have gone with Son up front. I just think with the captaincy, I just think right now it's too early to take your leader out of the team for any sort of game. So I do envision Son starting up front tomorrow. Plus, he just offers us a lot more towards what Harry Kane offered us than what Richarlison does. However, there is the argument with Perisic being on the left and left-footed, Solomon being on the right. With right-footed, you could go with Richarlison. This sort of game will suit him. However, we've seen against Bournemouth for that 10 minutes in the second half, when he doesn't hold up the ball, it just puts us under so much pressure. And I think in this game, if Son gets the chances that Richarlison had at the weekend, Son buries them. And for me, I think playing Son up front as your captain, we will also bag us a goal or two, and it'd be an insurance policy. Take him off after 40, 50, or after 50, 60 minutes, and then get Richarlison on the field to sort of hopefully bag a goal to get his confidence up. But that's our predicted lineup. That's the reasons why we've gone with them. Postecoglou has alluded to changes. Look, some might say too many changes. I can get that, but we also have to understand we have to make changes in these games to keep up the intensity. In years gone by, we sort of haven't really wanted to make changes because we know the effect and the downgrading quality that it brings when we do. However, I'm not so sure it's going to be as much of a drop-off in quality with the changes this time around, with the system, the way we play, and the players that we've got to come in. So let me know your thoughts on the predicted lineup. It's been a bold one to predict. We've gone with a lot of changes. Let us know in the comments below what you would do ahead of today's game. But most important, make sure you get yourself ready for tonight's game. It's going to be a big one. Tottenham's going to need us. Andrew's going to need us. This is the start of our cup run. Come on, you Spurs. In the mighty hands we trust. We never stop. Let's go. Everywhere we go.